This is the recent video by Lenard Walson, and he zooms in very well with his Meade LX200. And this is the area I find fascinating because you've just got too many right angles and walls there to be natural structures. So I'm concentrating on that area there, and I've taken a few pictures. All that area looks like it's actually cut out. And here's that wall area right there. You'll see a pillar. There's a gap in between. You've got there, it turns right angles, then it goes all the way around. And then you've got all this cutout area. So we'll just start that tape right there. And that's the area that I want to concentrate on. See how all that's cut out? And here we come to see that pillar, the gap, and the right angles there. So I'll actually take further photos of that area that he brings up as well. And these are just great zooms. There. You'll see the gap, the big pillar, bang, right angle, then a wall goes all the way around. Now, either these were mining structures or there was water there in the previous history. These are some sort of dams. I'm not sure. They're just very bizarre. And you see all those ridges there as well. Could things have been grown there, or I can't understand why if it's a mining area have these high walls and pillars in that area. Were they living areas? Here we go again, that area there goes all the way around. It's just that right angle and the way it's produced that does not seem unnatural there. And yeah, these are great zooms. So I'll try to process a few of these pictures. That's at 20 minutes 25 seconds in his video. I'll just go forward now. This is my favorite area. It looks like a crater. There's a wall there. There's a structure on the wall. Looks like some sort of crane. And there's that rounded tube that hangs over. And there it is there. I've taken pictures of it previously. It's just too bizarre. So I'll concentrate on that and actually bring that up. So here we're still in that area where there's the pillar, the gap, the wall structure. And this area pops up now, which is great. There it is there. You've got a wall there. There's a structure on that wall, which I'll zoom in. There it is there. Now, I've taken a few pictures where there's an object that hangs over on the side. And then you've got that object that just hangs over right there. I'm not sure if I'm using the right phrases, but these are just not normal, especially that a pillar, the right angle, the wall. There's actually two walls there. There it is again, down there. And these are just so strange to be unnatural that I'll actually keep playing the video now. So I'll try to take clearer pictures from that area. So it's great because he goes sideways and also from the top in his video. I'll try to take a picture of that. That thing there especially, which I've processed in side zooms before. There's a tower there and that thing just overhangs the crater of that wall. And there's that blue wall there, that structure. I'll just pause these. There it is again. So he'll just, on his video, he'll just pause. There we go. So there we have that structure. It's on the wall. It overhangs. There it is there. It's just so long. It sticks out. It's sitting on some sort of platform. There seems to be two processes there. I've actually taken side pictures before, sideways, and these are interesting because it actually shows it's a square type of structure. So I'll try to now process those pictures as well. There are just too many things there that just don't look natural. Here we've got that squared area and the tower in the middle. There's that object sitting in the crater there. There's that tower on the wall. There's just too many bizarre things in there to be natural. Especially those two segments hanging down, the rounded area, the dome there, and that straight object that just overhangs that area right there. Now in those sideways pictures that I've taken, that object that goes right over, it's actually a blue in the crater area. It seems to be camouflage, and the white area is right where the wall should be. So there seems to be some element of camouflage happening in these photographs that also are not natural. Here's that object on the tower again, on the wall. There it is there. There's that right angle happening. So I'll try to zoom into those areas. We're now at 22 minutes. And it's great how we can go from top to the bottom. There seems to be that area there which actually has walls in it, so I'll try to pause that. We'll go a fraction back. That was at 20. Just go a fraction back there. It just seems to be an area that it's that area right there. Okay, we won't concentrate on that too long. It just seems to have too many squares to it. So there it is there in freeze frame. These are areas that he goes through as well, especially that thing overhanging, which we photographed before. So it's actually going sideways here into this area. There's that square area with the tower in the middle. There's that object that overhangs. There's a structure there. It's like a dome in that area. I'll try to process pictures more of this area as he goes through. That's unusual right there. There's just too many unusual things. There's an arch that goes right over there. There's that structure that overhangs. That's a classic. Look at it. I keep going back on that object. There's an object there right on the wall. There's a structure there that overhangs like a crane. There's that arm that overhangs there. There's a tower. There's a black square behind it. There's an object that curls up. There's a square area there with an object in the middle, and there's an area that it goes right on top there. So these things are like, wow, what are they? They just don't seem natural in that area where they are. These are just crazy things that just... I'll try to process a few pictures of those areas. Yeah, I'm not sure what they are. They're just there. They're in your face. Especially that area. And here too, we've got an object that goes straight over there. So it's a definite line in there. I've taken those pictures before. So I'm not sure what could produce that. There's some more angles. So we've got a definite type of work happening in there, in that area. That thing that overhangs, it's, the tower, that object on there. That tower there. They're crazy things. They're just, how could they be there type of things? What are they? Let's go through it a bit more. There's that object overhanging. There's a thing on the tower. There's one more there. It seems to go in those holes there, right near the actual entrance of that. And here we come to this great one, which looks like a pillar, a wall there. There's a gap in between. There's a tower there, and there it is at right angles. It just goes all the way down. We're now at 25 minutes 32. Just pause it here. There we go. Right there. And then we've got this area that's been mined, or there it is again, that object we're looking at. There's the gap from a different angle. So it could be like dams where fluid is held in these areas, or mining occurs, and that gap there could be where we had previously a structure that held stuff in. Look at it, it looks like it's artificially made. Let's go through it. I can't believe he zooms in so clearly. Wow. This is thrilling. I can't believe now we're seeing it during the daytime. We see it before at night. And there it is again, where there are a definite right angles in there and structures. There it is again there. There's two towers there. Did we have, any gates there that actually were there previously which could have been eroded? There's some structures there, but I don't like these sort of images because they're a bit blurry. Here we have all these bizarre things happening. There's an object there that just looks like it's artificially constructed. There's that object there as well. Let's just go through this now very slowly. The object there. Let's go back to when this started, about 3226. There's one object there he zooms in on. They look like square structures, or very hard to work on that one. See how you got a definite squares and lattices in there, like that big square structure there. They're like walls. They look like walls. But that's all I can do for that one. There's that structure there again. It's got the squares and a definite right angles, and yeah, look at that. You've got square structures like walkways in between, and they're actually carved into the rock. You can't prove anything on that one really. It's not that much light there, so I'll have to call that quits. There it is again. That's what I can do on that one. There's the object there. Now that's unusual. That whole area there, that looks like a square object on a tower. Then you've got these, that area. I'm just going to take a few pictures of that because it just doesn't seem right. And also up there, these objects that go into those rounded areas. It looks as though they're mining pits. Something just doesn't feel right about the way those structures are actually placed. Again, there's no proof on that one. There's nothing that special. There it is again. But having said that, I can't prove anything. It's unusual. It's unusual there. Oops. Just have to pause this very quickly. Sorry about that. Let's go to 3445. And then I'll start to analyze the pictures. This area is unusual, but I can't prove anything. It's got those structures there, like objects, crossings, that object sticking out. It's just, it looks good, but that's a clearer picture. You just have to pause it at the right time. That's better. There's like towers and walkways in between, but it's too rough to say anything. So this is where I might call it quits and process the pictures. These are the images which I'll analyze from the video, and a few are like, well, I don't see anything good, but here we've got that nighttime vision of these walls in some sort of a mining area. Like you got that tower, a gap in between. I think this has been processed already. And the walls come in at 90 degrees. Now the great thing is it catches this from an angle and also from above at night time. So some are very good. Like there's that object on a crater wall that's got arms hanging over, and on the opposite side. Now he's also caught that at an angle as well. We've actually focused on that before, and I can quickly jump to that picture, but I'll actually do it again of that object. And here it is there on the side of the wall. This is a side shot. So that's where it's actually great, because he comes in at all angles, all times of the day. And this is the opposite side of that crater. There's the object there, and there's the opposite side of that object that hangs over. And these are beautiful images. And as you can see, they're actually caught from above and also from the side. That's why I like them. And that's image of that object there and that side arm coming over. So I'm just trying to compare that quickly to show you what it looks like. And you can see that object just hanging over the side there. What the purpose of it was, I don't know. So that's how these pictures come in. So I'm just trying to show you quickly. There it is there, and that's called an angle. Sunrise or sunset. There's that walled area caught from above. There's a gap in between. It goes 90 degrees. There's a second wall on the side. I'll go through these quickly. You've seen them before. There's that tower, then the wall. Is it some sort of a dam area or mining area, living area? I don't know, but it just seems to form these very unusual shapes which are not natural. There it is again. There it is again. Again from above. Again. Again, there's that object on the wall that overhangs. There's that arm that goes across, and you can see the areas like, I don't know what to say, are they mining areas or living areas? There's the object on the wall of the crater. What were they doing there? What were they mining? I don't know. What race were they? That's amazing. I mean, these are not things that are natural, obviously, so that's why I'm spending more time on these. And you can see, like, it's like a dam wall. You see the walkway, the buildings there, then all of a sudden you go up there, there's a big crane there, there's a tower there. I've focused on those areas on the other side. They're great. I can't believe he zoomed in that well. Actually, let's go to that one again. It's more like a wall of a dam, isn't it? You've got all the structures there and that wide area there. Let's try to clear this picture up. I think it shows more detail than the others. Trick is to catch the detail in the right snap picture. Snapshot. There it is. Interesting. Again. There it is again. There's one other object on the wall. I'll see if I can clear that one up. what those objects were hanging off the wall, I don't know. They're just amazing, so I couldn't stop but to analyse these pictures. Now there's the image from above of that structure inside a wall. I've processed these pictures before, but these are actually shots from above, which are very good. There's that object, looks like a crane hanging over, and there's side arms to that. Let's process that picture now. I'll show you how very simple processing can bring up certain things in a picture. There we go. Straight away we see some sort of structure hanging over the edge there, like a crane or something. These look like walls in some sort of living areas, don't they? You've got little towers and walls. Look at that. Some haven't been processed. We'll try this one. It just seems like an object. Very hard, isn't it? I'll try to only concentrate on the very clear ones, but obviously that's some sort of structure there. It's just the way it's formed, the right angles. We'll try if we can do something with this one here. Something's popping up, but once I haven't got anything clear, I don't want to waste time on. Obviously, there's shapes that wouldn't be. I don't know. I won't waste time on that one. Let's go to the juicy stuff. That object just sits there. It's actually on some sort of crater wall, isn't it? And this was filmed, I think, in a month or two ago. So there it is. There's an object for sure. It just sits there. It's blue tinged. So we can make out this one. I should have processed them before. There's just so many images, I don't feel like doing every one. That's interesting. You've got right angles and squares in there, and they look like white buildings in there. Next one. There's that object on that wall, that thing that overhangs it. That's as close as I can do that zoom. There's one other object that just seems to be surrounded by a hexagon. There's that object on the wall, on the crane. There it is again, high zoom. That shows a... I'm trying to zoom in on that. It shows a blue tinged object. That's as close as I can do on that one. That's very good. It just shows these right angles, walls, structures there. It's like a dam entrance. I'm just trying to clear it up. That did it. Wow. That's a good one. There's a little side wall there. A few towers there, a few structures there, and that wall that comes across. I don't know what the function was, but obviously it's some sort of structure, isn't it? There it is again. There's an object on the wall. There's that thing, looks like a crane sticking out of a recess, and structures near it there. There's that object on the wall again. Not sure what that could be. Might be anything, or it could be something. It's hard to say. There's just too many lines there, and that's how you clear these pictures up. It comes up very good sometimes, gives you good results, and sometimes you ask yourself, was it worth the effort? That's good. There are very strange shapes in there. That looks like carved out living areas in rocks. That's unusual. It's a square object. That's unusual. These look like towers. There's an entrance there. There it is. One there. Rounded area there for a little object on top. And then it's carved into the hillside, that entrance. Very unusual, isn't it? There's another one. That tube goes from one entrance to the other. Did they transport themselves in these tubes? There are like 3 or 4 towers in this picture, and there's an object there. Not much else to do with that one. It's very hard to process that one. White domes and areas on there. Not that clear. Not happy with it. These are tubes. One zigzags over the other. That's why that's very unusual. Did they use these for transport? That's unusual. You've got that curve, then that flat structure. Let's see what we can do with this one. Just doesn't look unnatural the way it's got a flat area then a curve. That's all I can do with that one. Yeah, now we're starting to see things. We're starting to see a few things popping up here. I'll see what I can do with it. Interesting. That area just comes up. That's a good picture. I don't know what it is, but there's that from above that object that hangs over the crater. Side view, that's object from above. Side view, one of those craters. This is interesting. This comes over like arms, then you've got a square wall behind it. I might process it a fraction more. That's all I can do on that one. That object looks like a crane of some sort, just hangs over that way. This is a great picture. That shows a perfect straight object coming over there. There's some sort of entrance. You've got the side arms there, that square object behind it. Now if I can just bring that up. There we go. Look at that. That's great. There we go again. It's one other object that has like processes that go into these holes. There's that straight thing that goes straight across. I'll see if I can bring up. Just looks like a perfect horizontal object. And that's it.